Hello and welcome to another very fun episode of Movies You Missed podcast. We hope you are still laughing from last week's episode covering the Rush Hour movies, an episode that was a very long time coming. How you doing after that episode, John?
I'm doing good. I love doing action comedies, and those were two great action comedies. Good revisits for both movies. Looking forward to getting into some more comedy today in a different subgenre.
Yes, that's right. We are doing horror comedies today. We felt like getting back into the swing of things, we should do some lighter fare and genres that both John and I really love. So that means some horror comedies. Both have some pretty entertaining tropes that we will get to in a little bit. Welcome everybody to Movies You Missed podcast. I'm V, and that's John, and we are two industry veterans who worked in the movie industry for a whole lot of years and been friends for even longer, and now we love to recommend movies to you without spoiling them.
No spoilers here, even if you've seen the movie already.
Even if you've seen the movie already, even if it's the most famous movie in the world, we will never spoil it. And
never.
We also love to discuss the behind-the-scenes trivia, some of our behind-the-scenes experiences as well, and new movies we've seen in theaters or on streaming over the last week. And I know you've seen a few, so why don't we get into that?
I honestly don't know where to start. I guess I'll start with the one that I like the least.
As per
actually,
usual.
out of the four, as per usual, but out of the four, there were two I liked the least and then two that I enjoyed. I'll start with the one that I was very disappointed with. I went and saw the new Disney Pixar flick Hoppers.
Yep, looked like a copycat of Avatar. I was not interested when I watched the trailer.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it was. It was a Disney sugar-coated, family-friendly version of Avatar. There were 3 moments in it in the entire hour and 45 that I laughed out loud. The rest of it was very eye-roll, very cliche, but I have a feeling, V, when you see it, you are going to love it.
I'll try not to take offense to that.
No. That's I'm not trying to offend you at all. It's and you know, I guess in a weird way it might be offensive because as much as I love animals, this movie didn't make me care about any animals at all.
Why would I like it then?
Because you foster kittens and dogs and you work at a veterinarian hospital every now and then. I feel like you will have a different opinion than mine.
Okay, well then I will certainly give it a chance because you asked me to, but I am absolutely waiting until it's on streaming.
Definitely. This is not a theatrical worthy type of Disney Pixar movie. No, absolutely not.
Okay, deal.
The other one that I saw that did not impress me very much, but was better than Immaculate and Wolfman and Presence over the last few years. This was the somewhat remake, somewhat self-aware rehash of a movie from the 80s called Faces of Death.
Oh, okay. Haven't heard of this one.
Yeah, not a bad movie, but not a great movie, not even really a good movie. Some of it was just very eye-roll. The villain in the movie, he's terrible. I hope I never see him again. He really was awful. Overall, I give it like a C-, I guess. Faces of Death, the newest remake, revamp, whatever you want to call it.
Not interested.
Yeah, I didn't think you would be. I went and saw this movie completely blind. This showed up on the Regal app. It's called Exit 8. It's a Japanese, somewhat horror movie, somewhat thriller, based on a video game which I'd never heard about. But I gotta tell you, the movie was badass. It kind of follows the trope of Happy Death Days, very Groundhog Day, but completely different. It was really cool, I gotta say. I really enjoyed it. When it ended, I was a little sad that we didn't get any more of it. But if you are somebody that's ever played the game, which like I just said I've never heard of, Exit 8 is a pretty cool-ass flick from Japan.
Well, that's kind of perfect timing given the topic of this week and your pick.
And the last movie I'll talk about was Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in the new flick, The Drama.
Yes! I can't wait to watch this film.
Yes. I loved it. I went and saw it with a buddy of mine, and halfway through he leaned over to me and goes, "Should we be laughing at this?" And I looked at him and said, "Yeah, we should." This movie is dark. It is, wow. This movie is twisted out of control, but it is so hilarious and so awesome. I thought everybody delivered a fantastic performance. If you are interested in The Drama, highly, highly, highly recommend checking out The Drama.
Okay, I believe I'm actually going to see it in the next day or so.
Oh, great. Yeah, I think you should check it out. I can't wait to hear what you think about this one.
All right.
Yeah, so that is what I saw over the last week. V, what did you see?
I saw the sequel to your pick this week, so I'm going to talk about it in a little bit.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's jump into it shortly.
So now let's get into our movie picks of the week. As I said, we are doing horror comedies with really cool...
There it is.
I don't really ever scream.
You're more of a gasper, actually.
Yes, that's true. I do gasp during movies.
Even if it's not a horror movie, and I know this because when we saw Avatar Way of Water, something came out of the water and you almost shit your pants.
I startle very easily in movies and in real life, and everyone can attest to that.
So, and I do not.
The nice thing is that the jump scares in this movie are just entertaining and didn't scare me too bad, but they were well worth it and perfect for each movie. I'm really excited to get into this episode because I love both of these picks. I fought John a little bit on his pick, actually, because I wanted to do it, but I think it worked out pretty well, especially because I had an opportunity to introduce John to mine. So now it's time to get into each of our movie picks of the week, focusing on horror comedy with leading ladies. And since it's an odd episode, John, you go first.
Oh, damn. I thought we were going to go back and forth and talk about our movies the way that you worded that. I was like, oh, cool. So I'll start, and then you... No.
That could be fun and really confusing for our audience.
It would. It would be a Christopher Nolan Inception-style episode.
You mean Tenet?
Very Tenet-like, yeah. Or Tesseract, like in Interstellar.
In the wrong order.
Yeah.
So instead, I'm going to give you the floor and let you dive into your movie.
All right, let's jump into my pick this week from 2019, 7 years ago. Ridiculous how time has just disappeared. I did not see this movie in theaters, but I wanted to, but I did see it on streaming, and I fell in love with it immediately. I think I've seen it 3 or 4 times since then, and we'll discuss the sequel after we discuss, your opinion about this film. This movie's written by Guy Busick and R. Christopher Murphy. This film is directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette. Odd that there's 2 directors, and it's every now and then it does work, but sometimes it's just kind of like, it's weird seeing 2 directors on a movie.
The original John Wick was directed by 2 men.
Oh, was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. Fascinating. And
because
I know the Farrelly brothers are brothers.
Well, because you never saw the documentary Wick is Pain last year. Goes into
Oh, that's true. That's true.
We also have the Coen brothers.
Right. We do have the Coen brothers.
Not anymore.
Okay.
They don't direct together anymore.
Do they not?
They stopped doing that. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's true because Ethan Coen's come out with 2 different movies. Mm-hmm. Well, 2 movies that were very similar to each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. But this movie that I'm talking about from 2019 stars Samara Weaving, Adam Brody, Henry Cerny, the guy from Mission Impossible.
Kittredge from Mission Impossible.
Kittredge.
And also, what was his name? He's a douchebag in Clear and Present Danger with Harrison Ford.
Yes, that's right. He is.
Ritter?
I couldn't tell you. You're probably right.
Something
you know
like
more
that.
about that movie than
God,
I do.
he's such a slimeball in that movie. He's so good, though.
He's also in Scream 6, which I don't remember him in because I don't remember that movie very much.
And he also starred in the ABC show Revenge for its entire run.
Never saw that show. I heard it was great.
He's really good at being a rich psychopath.
Oh, well, yeah, I can see that. It's in his eyes. And look, it's exactly what he does in this movie.
Exactly.
Next to him is the fantastic Andie MacDowell.
I love her in this role so much.
Yes, as do I. And then we have Elsie Levesque and Nikki Guadagni. I think I'm pronouncing Guadagni correctly. She plays Aunt Helen, and we love Aunt Helen in this movie especially. Such a creepy-looking woman, almost kind of like if Edna Mode cut her hair shorter, spiked it, and went silver without the glasses, I think. Kind of Edna Mode-ish.
She's just so cold and awful. I actually picture her more like the evil stepmother who aged from Cinderella or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very skeletal. She's very creepy.
She is very skeletal. That's a good way to put her, yeah.
Severe looking.
Especially during the wedding when she's just staring Samara Weaving's character down. Grace. So hilarious.
Brutal.
So now that's the cast of my pick, and this film is titled Ready or Not. I don't think I actually mentioned the title of this movie, but that is the title. This is Ready or Not from 2019. If you've not seen Ready or Not, buckle your seatbelt. This is a fantastic ride. It is fucking hilarious. And it's brutal as well. And it's one of those, like, it's shock comedy. Like, when things go down, it's almost, it's similar to Until Dawn, kind of. Like, when things start happening, you can't help but laugh and also be disturbed at the same time.
It's like Tucker and Dale, a little less funny, but just as gruesome.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, definitely. So Ready or Not, for those that have not seen it, like I said, stars Samara Weaving and Mark O'Brien. I did not mention him. He plays Alex, who is Grace's new husband. And, well, there you go. Grace and Alex are about to be married. There's a little exposition in the beginning of the movie before we meet Grace and Alex, but I'm not going to mention any of that. I just want to get into really the deep end of the movie. And it is a great exposition because I completely forgot about the first, 7 minutes of this movie. So when I started watching it again, I was like, am I watching the right movie? And then, of course, one thing leads to another, and yes, we absolutely are watching the correct movie. Grace and Alex are about to get married at a beautiful palatial estate way out in the country, and Grace is, of course, very nervous about this because she doesn't really know Alex's family very well. Alex has a bit of anxiety about this wedding as well. If you've seen the trailer, you understand why Alex has so much anxiety, but if you're going into this movie blind...
You should.
I think... Oh, I completely agree. Yeah, if you have not seen a trailer for this movie and after listening to this episode... Go into it blind, and that's what I tell V about most of the movies that I'm introducing V to, is to not watch the trailer, because V has a very strange habit of watching the trailer and getting their hopes up, and then being disappointed, because trailers can be better than the movie, which seems to kind of start dwindling away after last year. I feel like well, granted, I don't go to the movies early enough to watch the trailers anymore, so maybe that's why. But anyway, going blind with Ready or Not because Alex is super anxious about this whole thing. Andie MacDowell, she plays Becky. She plays his mother. She's trying to kind of keep things nice and smooth. Tony, played by Henry Czerny, is also coming off as a very excited, brand new father-in-law for Grace. So the wedding goes down almost without a hitch, but things kind of don't always go correct. It's a very entertaining wedding, and then after everybody has left, the reception is over, it's time to play a family game. So before we get any farther into the breakdown of Ready or Not, let's have Tony Ladomas explain to our audience what exactly Grace is about to get herself into.
I gather you've noticed our family is big on tradition. And now the time has come for you to join us in those traditions.
Ooh, story time.
Now, as you may know, my great-grandfather Victor set up a modest printing shop during the Civil War manufacturing playing cards. A generation later, my grandfather expanded into sporting goods and board games. Under my leadership, Ladomas Family Games acquired 4 professional sports teams and reached, even greater heights. Some may call it luck, but it's a little more than that. It's almost as if someone's watching over us. It all began with a very generous benefactor and this box. You see, originally, great-grandfather was a merchant seaman. And it was a hard life, and like so many, he wanted more. And on one of his many excursions abroad, great-grandfather came to meet a Mr. LaBelle. He was a passenger aboard the ship, a collector of sorts, purchasing exotic antiquities to resell to wealthy Americans. After discovering a mutual passion for games of chance, they passed a great many hours playing cards. And among Mr. LaBelle's possessions was that box. And since that time, whenever the Ladomases are presented with a new addition to the family, we place a blank playing card into the box. Our initiate then has the privilege of drawing the card, and Mr. LaBelle will tell us which game to play.
I love when Daniel Adam Brody's wife is like, I got Old Maid, and then you find out somebody else got chess. So, of course, she's like, oh, okay, cool. We'll play checkers or chess or Go Fish. Or what is it?
Parcheesi.
Parcheesi, yeah. My wife is such a, her family, really. And Amy is a big gamer, video games, but anytime we're at Amy's family's house, it's literally like a 4.5-hour excursion on Settlers of Catan, or they play Canasta, or all these games. And while they're fun for like a round or two, I can't continue to play a lot of games. Like, I like Yahtzee, and there was a game back in the day called Pigs, where you would roll pigs as dice. You remember that game, V, right? Yeah. Great game. Awesome game. And those are pretty much it. Monopoly was kind of a thing when I was growing up, but my parents started to hate it because my sister and I liked to play for like 3 fucking hours. So now I understand where my parents were coming from anytime I go and hang out with my in-laws and they want to play Settlers of Catan, because they have every expansion pack that you can think of for Settlers of Catan. But anyway, Grace pulls.
Now we know why her family likes me more than you.
Yeah.
I'll
well,
play
I
board
always
games
knew
for
that
hours.
Everybody... Yeah, nobody likes me and her family.
I
No,
didn't
for
say
the
that.
record,
I just said
think
they like me
do.
more.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
maybe
you know
the
what?
Ladomas family
This
could like you
podcast
more.
is done. I'm over it. That's it. No, yeah. Maybe I can jump in with the Ladomases, but I don't. I don't know how I would be in some of these games. But anyway, after all of this, it's Grace's turn to now pick the game that they are going to play, and she pulls hide and seek. And for whatever reason, hide and seek seems to be the game that nobody thought that anybody would ever pull in the Ladomas family or in this whole lineage of this family playing these games when they have now welcomed new people into their family. So Grace is just kind of hunky-dory, thinking this is adorable and cute, and everybody else in the family has become very quiet, very somber, and the anxiety is also building in the room. And not just between Alex and his brother, because Daniel is extremely disheartened about the fact that she's pulled this. Becky is also not thrilled, Tony included. The only person that seems to be even remotely thrilled about this is Aunt Helen.
Well,
so what do they
the
do?
sister-in-law, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
And the sister. God, there's some bitches in that family.
Yeah, Emily and Charity, both other family members of the Ladomas, are they're somewhat giddy about this game pull. So they tell Grace that she needs to go hide in the house and stay hidden until dawn. And they, of course, tell Grace that if she gets found, she loses the game, just like any other game of hide and seek. So after Grace goes to hide, the Ladomas family pulls curtains and doors open, and we are introduced to some brutal medieval violent weapons that they start pulling off. One of them gets an axe, one of them gets a sword, one of them gets a crossbow, and there's a gun also involved. Just crazy amounts of weapons. And they are now on the hunt for Grace during this game of hide and seek. And for the rest of the movie, we are along for the ride while things go absolutely bonkers, extremely bloody and violent, and hilarious up until the final 5 minutes of this movie. I gotta tell you, watching it this last time, like I said, third or fourth time, it might have been my third time because I did not remember a lot of it. But I laughed my entire ass off. Samara Weaving, just fantastic. She's not made a lot of great movies, but I watch movies because I enjoy watching her, and not because she's extremely beautiful, but she's also a great actress. There was a movie that I mentioned, I think 2 years ago, called Azrael, and I watched it because she was in it, and the movie was a lot of fun. And then I just recently, last year, watched Borderline with her and Ray Nicholson, which I thought was pretty good. It wasn't a great movie. And then she has Eenie Meenie, and now she has Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, and also in the next, I think, week or two, Over Your Dead Body with Jason Segel's coming out. So she's definitely had a pretty good run. I know, me too. I'm super stoked. So on top of Samara Weaving, everybody in this movie delivers a great performance, even if they're on screen for less than 30 seconds, because of what might happen to them and what might not happen to them. There's a couple of moments in this movie of mistaken identity, and that is one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. Just the way that it all goes down.
Oh my God.
So fucked up.
Yeah.
Of course, it happens in front of a child of all people and things. But overall, Ready or Not, a complete blast. It's worth a watch. If you like twisted horror comedy, highly, highly recommend watching Ready or Not. I wish, like I said, I would have seen it in theaters, but I was so glad that I got to see Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, in theaters, and V will discuss that in just a few minutes after we talk about your opinion. I think you do like this movie more than I do, but I remember when we were talking about doing this episode, a year or so ago, and I put this down, you were not happy about it.
True.
But in a good way, because you wanted to also do it. So I will let you take over now and discuss Ready or Not and your fandom of the movie, because like I said, I am a fan of it, and I just think V likes it more. I don't have a physical copy of this, but you better believe that if they come out with a double, I'm getting this.
Ooh, yeah. It's good to wait for that. Yes, you're right. I do love this movie. This is my fourth 5th time watching it just in the last couple years because I too did not see it in theaters. Unfortunate. But yeah, I think this movie is so entertaining. Samara Weaving gets me every time because she is the New Zealand doppelganger of Margot Robbie. It's so weird. And they were both in a movie together called Babylon, which is funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think this movie is so entertaining from beginning to end. I think it's a great concept as well. I liked the freshness of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I like how they integrated the gaming tropes to it, right? And just in the beginning when they're on this family estate that's just massive and these people clearly are just wealthy beyond any conceivable notion of wealth, right? They're just bazillionaires. You can tell immediately this family is in-laws from hell, right?
Oh, yes.
Because the dad, she even says, like, your dad hates me. And the mom seems kind of nice, but the brother is just a hot mess. And you can tell he's been drinking. He's probably on some pills. Like, he doesn't want to be there. He seems miserable. And then the sister gets there late and she's married to that dumbass Fitch who, when he gets a crossbow, then YouTubes how to use a crossbow in the library.
That is fantastic.
I love that scene so much. And yeah, I mean, I think everybody was cast super well. Adam Brody is perfect in that role, but so are the parents. Andy McDowell is so good at playing this wealthy woman, and she just has this elegance to her. I loved her hair and makeup. The costumes were great too. Everything about this movie, awesome.
Oh, yeah. The costumes were great, especially the wedding dress.
Yes, and I love how they handle the wedding dress throughout the movie, which is nice. And we've talked about single costumes in movies and how they just would have 17 copies of that costume in different levels of disrepair and damage, right? I think that's
an odd number that you chose out of the air.
It was random.
Oh, okay. Because there were 17 different versions of Grace's wedding dress made for
Seriously?
This movie. Seriously, yeah.
That's how much I love the movie. I just have a connection to it. No, I totally pulled it out of thin air. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, apparently I need to start guessing costumes and not budget and box office because I'm better.
Seriously.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to cherish this moment and then talk about how the daughter, who is a coke fiend, Emily, just keeps accidentally killing the help instead.
Yes.
In such messed up ways. And then the aunt comes in and it's just great because clearly not only is this poor bride trying to navigate this night, but so is the family. And I really liked that dynamic of it. And I liked how they kept switching between the two multiple groups of people, actually.
The back and forth is great in this movie. The editing is really good.
The editing is really good, yeah. And there are two very squeamish scenes in this movie that I do want to call out just because the nail in the barn.
I was going to say the barn moment. Yeah, big time.
And the gate.
Oh, yeah, the gate. Woo! Yeah. And my gosh, she's got some lungs on her when she screams.
Yeah, she does. She's a perfect scream queen, and she really did a great job carrying this movie because she is the sole person trying to survive. So she had to perform on her own a lot, and she did a great job. And
I love when she gets in the dumbwaiter and she's like, I got this. And then she sees something, and then she's like, oh, fuck. I need to actually stay hidden for the whole rest of the night.
Yes. And I love how this movie, from the start of this game to literally the end of the movie, is just so intense and fast-paced and entertaining. It doesn't let up in a really good way, and so I have a lot of fun with it every time, and I watch it, every year or so, which means it's enough of a break where there are things that I don't remember, and that's really nice too. And oh my God, that FaceTime call in the car makes me laugh my ass off every single time because they're all crowded. Oh my God. So yeah, there are some really funny moments in this movie that is also very bloody and gruesome. And so if you enjoy any sort of horror comedy, definitely add this to your list. It's one of my faves in this genre.
I'm glad to hear it. It is up there for me as well. It's just a blast and a half, and that's no pun intended.
Yeah. I get it.
If you've seen this movie, then you will understand what I mean by said blast and a half.
Oh my God.
Good. I'm glad we got to revisit it somewhat together, and we've now both seen Ready or Not, Here I Come. We'll get into that movie in just a few minutes. I do want to talk about a little bit of BTS. I don't have a whole lot, which is kind of unfortunate, but like I said, 17 different versions of Grace's wedding dress were made to progress over the course of the evening because, it starts out beautiful in white, and then it does not end beautiful in white. Avery Plews was the costume designer on this movie. She also costume designed Scream 6, which is pretty cool. And she currently is on Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Oh. She also did 8-Bit Christmas, which I remember seeing when it came out on streaming. I think it was an HBO movie. And I remember it was pretty good. I think NPH is in it. And she also did The Craft Legacy, which I don't think anybody saw, which was, I believe, the sequel to The Craft.
Which is why I would never watch it.
Yeah. You're a Craft fan, though.
Hell yeah.
Samara Weaving apparently did not know how to drive before this movie, so they had to teach her how to at least look like she knew how to drive a car.
Aw.
And the production team and everybody involved, writers and even cast members, submitted nearly 200 fictional board game names that they could use for this movie. And, I mean, I don't think chess is necessarily a board game name, but I guess it would be because that's what the game is called.
Well, there were a lot of board games in cabinets and in different parts of the house.
Yeah.
So, production, I bet art direction had a really fun time building some of these sets.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would have been cool.
Speaking of games like that, now, this is a deep cut. When I was on NCIS Los Angeles, one of my colleagues, she was the second AD on the show. She was a big Christmas gift giver when it came to Christmas and anybody's birthday. So Christmas comes around one year. She gave me a couple of things. She gave me a bottle of gin and some other little trinkety Disney things. But then the same year, she gave me a board game of Guess Who.
Oh.
But what she did with Guess Who was she called it Guess Who Background Edition. And she cut out pictures of all of our regular background people and put them on the Guess Who people and actually came up with clues in this
She's
shit.
amazing.
Yeah, her name's Hillary. She's fucking awesome. I haven't talked to her in years, but she was great. And that was one of the... I opened it and she just started laughing in my face. She goes, "I knew you were going to love this." I'm like, "This is fucking weird, Hillary." But
no, it's
I'm
amazing.
Totally going to play this.
So creative.
I played it like 3 or 4 different times. I could only play it with myself, though, because
right. Who
I
else
couldn't
is
play with
know all the
Amy. I
background?
couldn't play with it. And of course, she's like, "Oh, come over sometime. We'll get drunk and play it, and like we'll have an NCS LA night." And it never ended up coming to fruition. But either way, going back to board games, that's what I want to talk about. And even going into Amy's family, I've been to so many family members' houses of Amy's, and they have cabinets that are like 75 to 150 board games on the shelf, like falling off the shelf. It's crazy. It's wild to me. I only ever had 4 or 5, and I think right now we might have like 10 or 11. Yeah, see, no, But anyway, going back into that, 200 fictional board games for the movie, 8 of which were cleared by the legal department. So
probably for close-up shots versus just shots on a shelf.
Very likely. Yeah, absolutely. The house that they shot at was called the Casa Loma in Ontario, Canada. 3 different movies have been shot there, one of which actually is kind of interesting. I never saw this movie. This is a Vin Diesel Disney movie called The Pacifier. Never saw that one.
God, that movie sucks. It's like the Tooth Fairy with The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
This early 2000s muscle man trying to get into Hollywood.
Right, yeah. Crimson Peak was also shot there, and the first X-Men from 2000. So, cool.
Is that
I think
Professor
Xavier's I think it's Xavier's house. I think so.
I mean, that mansion is amazing.
Oh, it's killer, yeah. And I love the way they use it in X2. But we'll talk about that when we talk about X2.
Okay.
We talked about the fact that the Ladomas family was a board game empire family. And apparently, the Ladomas family empire of board games is based on a now defunct game manufacturers, Milton Bradley and Parker Brothers.
Yeah.
They apparently were both owned by Hasbro at one point or another. And that's kind of where this movie gets that sort of lore from.
Yeah, those are the OG brands of games back when you and I were growing up, and earlier, too. I mean, throughout the 20th century.
Milton Bradley, I remember after every commercial. Milton Bradley.
Parker Brothers did a ton of board games.
Did they really? Can you name any of them?
Well, they did Monopoly, Clue, Risk, Sorry, Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, okay.
Ouija boards, Boggle.
Oh.
God, we had all these growing up.
You had a Ouija board?
That was the only thing we didn't have, but we had all the board games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouija boards. Yeah. After The Exorcist. I don't think so.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, the Parker brothers also branched into like Nerf guns and things too.
Ooh, Nerf guns. I loved those.
Yeah. Ooh, and Scrabble. So
Hey, I hated Scrabble. I didn't like that game at all.
have you ever heard of Scattergories? I like that one better.
Yes, I've heard of Scattergories.
I like
and
that better
Trivial
than
Pursuit. Yeah, I don't think I ever played Scattergories.
Okay.
I played Scrabble like once or twice with my grandmother, and I just it wasn't
Can't
for
spell.
me. Well, we'll worry about that later.
This is why we have a podcast, not a blog.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God. Yeah, my blogs would be terrible. There is a gun that Emily is wielding in this movie, the Allen and Thurber Pepperbox revolver. That gun is in the North American edition of a board game from 1972. And that board game, V,
Is it Clue?
is Clue. Did we say that at the same time?
Just about.
Love that.
Can't wait to do Clue.
Yeah, I'm holding off on watching it.
Thank you.
Now, you mentioned Margot Robbie a few minutes ago because they both look very similar, just like Rebecca Ferguson and Carrie Condon, who
No.
literally are the same person.
Not at all.
Yes, they absolutely
Your
are.
glasses need to be thicker.
They probably do at this point. But Margot Robbie was actually considered for the role of Grace in this movie.
Not surprising at all.
That would have been cool, but I got to tell you, Samara Weaving was so badass. I'm glad
She
that
was great,
she's
yeah.
the one who we got.
Well, I think she has. I just feel like she has a little bit more innocence to her.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it was a better fit.
Yeah, I completely agree. There is a set called the Goat Pit in this movie.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. And that was the only set that was built for the movie. Everything else is a practical location.
Awesome.
From that mansion.
How
Yeah, so awesome.
Fun would it have been to film inside that mansion.
Oh, so badass. Because you know what? I guarantee you all of the shooting, except for the exterior, was all night for day. Because it's literally 98% interior locations.
Yeah, except for the parts where she's running through the property. I think you're right.
Yeah. No, of course. That was likely maybe one overnight or maybe, a half a day or something. Who knows?
Well, it had some stunts and a car in it, so I bet you it probably took a week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
depending on how long it took to film this movie, it could have been just a couple days. But
Could have been.
there's some pretty massive stunts at the nighttime. That's why I was thinking it took a little longer.
Oh, yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. There's a lot of taxidermy in this movie as well. And the only reason I'm mentioning this because it's really interesting for me because taxidermy I don't see a lot. I think I might have been introduced to like taxidermy when I first saw Psycho when I was a kid. There's a bear holding a goat's head in its mouth, and that's actually how that taxidermy piece came to the set. So they sourced these from people that like to have stuffed dead animals in their house.
Is there a problem, Mr. Ventura? No, this is a lovely
No.
room of death.
That's going to be a fun episode, and that's coming up soon.
Yeah, that's another takeover episode, I think.
Hell yeah. The actress that plays Charity Ladomas, she's the one that has the spear gun in her hand, and she doesn't know how to use it. That actually is authentic. She didn't actually know how to use that thing. Now, granted, I don't know how many people that really know how to use a spear gun. The fact that the Ladomases, most of them were supposed to kind of come off as somewhat ditzy and airheady and just kind of like very aloof, if you will.
Ineffectual because they're wealthy
Yeah.
and everybody does everything for them.
Exactly, yeah. Production and the directors didn't actually give her any lessons on the spear gun. So all of the dialogue and problems that she has with the spear gun, those are all authentic, and we can thank production for leaving that in the movie. Principal photography began on October 15th of 2018. How long do you think it took to make this movie, V?
45 days.
With 45 days? You know what? You're not far off with the 45 days.
Wow.
They wrapped principal photography on November 19th.
Oh, okay.
It was literally like 34 days of production. Oh, barely over a month for principal photography on location in Ontario, Canada.
Impressive.
For this movie. Yeah, pretty bitchin' indeed. This film was released on August 21st of 2019, so just under a year after principal photography wrapped, this movie came out. Pretty awesome. V, what do you think the budget of Ready or Not was?
$5 million.
Ah! You were off by $1 million. It was $6 million.
Hey, there we go.
Opening weekend came in at $8 million. The domestic box office was $28.7, and the worldwide box office was $57.6 million.
Hell yeah.
Just a shit ton of money on a $6 million budget, and now, 7 years later, we were gifted Ready or Not, Here I Come with Catherine Newton and Elijah Wood. And I fucking loved Ready or Not 2, Here I Come.
So
I thought it
much.
was an absolute blast. I cannot wait to watch it again and show Amy. Amy's a fan of Ready or Not and Samara Weaving, so I'm looking forward to showing her that one. She also wants to see They Will Kill You. So it's going to be a lot of bloody movies coming up in the next couple weeks at my house, which is great.
Yes, I just saw Ready or Not, Here I Come last week, and it was such a blast. A very well done sequel because it just elevated the original. It wasn't just a rinse and repeat. I was so stoked with the screenplay. They did it so well. It built on a lot of the lore. It put them in new situations, and now we have Catherine Newton, who's from Freaky and a bunch of other films that we love. Them being sisters was great. Sarah Michelle Gellar was amazing in this movie. Oh my God,
She
I
was
loved her
awesome.
so much. All of those rich douchebags did a great job in their roles, but man, Elijah Wood stole the show for sure. And
Yeah, he was awesome.
it was so funny. I laughed so hard. I did get to see it in the theaters. I was really stoked about it. And there's this
Hell yeah.
scene on a dance floor that had me
Yeah.
laughing so hard I was doubled over in the theater. I had such a great time. I'd totally watch it again. And yes, this movie and now its sequel are both great films. Definitely give both of them a watch. I'm so happy with the sequel.
Yeah, me too. I went opening weekend, had a blast. The theater was pretty packed. Everybody seemed to have a really good time. It's still playing in theaters. If you have a chance to check it out, absolutely do. And if you have not seen Ready or Not, it's currently streaming on Hulu or Disney Plus. It is R-rated, so maybe don't watch it with the kids.
Definitely don't.
All right, well, that is Ready or Not, my pick for this week from 2019, starring Samara Weaving and a whole handful of other awesome actors that really killed the movie, no pun intended. Now, V, I think it is time to check out your flick this week, a movie that you are introducing me to. We ready to take it away?
We are.
All right, we are. Let's do it.
We are going to rewind 2 years to 2017. We are not going in order this week, but that is okay, to another amazing horror comedy, also led by a blonde woman. She did a great job, too. And
Yeah.
this is produced by Blumhouse. Most of you guys would probably recognize the name. They've now been around for a while and really good at those mid-budget movies that we've been missing, including Get Out, Split, Black Phone, Whiplash, Paranormal Activity franchise, The Purge, Insidious, and Five Nights at Freddy's, even though you hate it.
I do not like Five Nights at Freddy's. There's very few Blumhouse movies I like because I've been so let down by so many of Blumhouse's movies.
I mean, you do love Megan.
I love Megan.
Well, that's a Blumhouse movie.
Love it. I didn't say I hate all of them. I liked Night Swim. I do like some Blumhouse movies. There's just some, like Black Phone, the first one, didn't like it. Second one, not bad.
Yeah.
But either way.
Either way, we are talking about the Blumhouse production movie Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
This is a movie that is a horror comedy that follows the Groundhog Day trope.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Roth plays Tree. Her full name is Teresa, so her nickname's Tree. And that's what everybody calls her.
Yeah, that was off-putting for a minute for me.
Why?
Well, I've never heard anybody with the name Tree before. It was just a little weird.
Growing up in Northern California, there's a big variety of names. I mean, I was friends with a Willow and lots of other nature-like names, so it didn't surprise me at all. Yes, you're a very LA suburbanite. I get it.
I am.
So Tree wakes up. She is part of a sorority, and she is also in college, and it is her birthday. Now, Jessica Roth, she hasn't been in too much, but she did make an appearance in La La Land. But what I loved her in is she plays the sister in Boy Kills World.
Oh, nice. That
Yeah.
movie's bitchin'.
It really is. So that's
Hell
Jessica
yeah.
Roth playing Tree in this movie, being in college. She wakes up, and not only is it her birthday, but she's in an unfamiliar dorm room. And it takes her a minute to get her bearings because, surprising no one, she's hungover. And she asks for aspirin, and it turns out there's this boy named Carter. They're in his dorm room. She ended up passing out there. She finds out very quickly that he did not take advantage of her. He just brought her back to his room because she was really wasted, and he was worried something was actually going to happen to her. And so he brought her back to his room and slept in his roommate's bed. Men, take note, this is how to act. And
Right.
Carter is played by Israel Brossard, and you would recognize him because he plays Josh, the neighbor and the sister's boyfriend, in To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Super cute movie. And so Carter helps Tree as much as he can, but she's like, I'm getting out of here. And she's kind of a bitch. She walks out and walks on the quad, and she runs into a couple different people. One is a girl who's trying to get a petition signed. Another is a couple on the grass that the sprinklers come on and it disturbs them. And then she walks by a bunch of frat boys doing some hazing.
Oh, yeah.
And so there are very key elements of this scene that we all take in the beginning of this movie. She also runs into a boy she went on a date with and tries to tell him in no uncertain terms that he might have had fun. She certainly didn't. The reason she never texted back because she didn't like him and she didn't have a good time on the date. Get over it. Move on. And she's very blunt and kind of shitty, but we keep going and following her while she walks back to her sorority house. And now we get to meet Danielle. Who is the bitchiest, snottiest, vain, superficial cliche of a sorority head that you've ever imagined.
Oh, yeah.
That's Danielle. And she starts giving Tree a hard time, and Tree's like, whatever, and goes up into her room where she meets up with her roommate, who is in scrubs, and actually seems kind of nice, and offers Tree a cupcake that she made to actually celebrate her birthday, because Tree seems like not only is she not interested in celebrating, but she's also kind of ignoring it as well. She's declining calls from her dad. She keeps saying how she doesn't want to talk about her birthday and doesn't want to celebrate it. So her roommate's being really sweet, actually, and trying to help her. And she just brushes her off and then throws the cupcake away.
Yeah.
So as we follow Tree through her day, she runs off to class that she's late for. Turns out she's having an affair with the professor. And then she comes back home, gets dressed, and gets ready for a party. And on her way there, she gets killed. She gets killed by a guy in a very creepy baby mask that turns out to be the mascot of their college.
Yep.
But lo and behold, Tree wakes up and she's back in Carter's room. And it's her birthday. And we are now repeating something. And that is the gist of this movie, is that Tree keeps going through this day that happens to be her birthday. And at the end of it, she keeps getting murdered in increasingly spectacular ways.
Yeah, there are some good ones.
And she even tells Danielle that she's having the worst deja vu after this happens 2 times. And Danielle says, oh, well, deja vu is just when someone's thinking about you when they're masturbating, which is not a definition of deja vu I've ever heard.
None that I have ever heard, but I like it.
And as we go through the day, little things change as she tries to adjust to what's going on, including her finally making this party. It turns out it's a surprise party for her. And once again, the surprise party and the surprise goes horribly awry. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, how for The Edge, I think, how surprise parties are always bad in movies.
Yeah, they're terrible.
So now Tree is trying to survive. That's not happening. And finally, she confides in Carter about what's going on. And this poor kid, he's such a sweetie. He really entertains everything she's saying, but also just her treating him kind of crappy in the beginning. And so she talks through exactly what she's experiencing. He doesn't believe her at first, of course, because who would? But finally, he starts talking to her about what this could mean and how this is her chance. She's been given another chance at life. And maybe she's repeating this day because she's supposed to solve the crime and prevent the murder from happening. So then she comes up with a list of suspects, and this is the montage that I love so much in this movie because it's her investigating this list of suspects as she's going through these days, like Groundhog Day, right? And she just keeps getting killed. It's awesome. And at one point, she steals a car and gets pulled over, which is a great scene. I think it might be one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie. And my favorite part of the Groundhog Day trope is when she leads someone along and tries to convince them that, yes, she's lived this day before by pointing out exactly what's going to happen. I love that in these types of movies so much. I don't know why. I just find it very fun. And so this is Tree going through days and days and days of repeating her birthday over and over and over again, and at the end of the night getting killed every single time in various and increasingly gruesome ways. But one of the reasons I love this movie so much is that as she's going through these days, similar to Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, she's starting to learn more about herself, recognize more of her behaviors, and there's a lot of growth in this movie, which is why I keep coming back to it and why I could tolerate it, because at the beginning of the movie, she's shitty. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. She sucks as a person.
Yeah, she big time sucks.
She's not a good sorority sister. She's not a good friend. She's not nice to Carter. And she's not even a very good daughter. And so I really like the trajectory of this movie as it's going through all of these repeats of this day. And so I've been watching this movie since my sister recommended it to me years ago, probably like 6 years ago now. I'm pretty sure my sister Shannon is the one who recommended Ready or Not to me the first time as well. So both of these movies she's a fan of, which is great. So I really enjoy it. I was really excited to introduce John to it as well. I hope you had a good time with it. I'd love to hear your reaction.
I will give you my reaction to Happy Death Day. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I remember, I think I saw the trailer for it, because this was a theatrical release movie, if I remember correctly.
And the trailer is great.
So
it's got 50 Cent in the club as the theme song of the trailer. But they couldn't get licensing.
I don't even remember that
They
at all.
couldn't get licensing for the song, which is why it's not in the movie. Because it was supposed to be her ringtone.
Ah, okay. Cool. I think I saw a trailer for it. I never went to see it. And then Happy Death Day 2 came out, or Happy Death Day to You, which I was like, oh, there's a sequel to Happy Death Day. That's cool. But I never saw it either. I didn't really have a whole lot of interest in it. And I do like the Groundhog Day trope. I like that whole thing. Talking about it in this movie, because there's a lot of montage and she does relive the same day a lot. And there's a fan theory for Groundhog Day, the movie with Bill Murray and, hey, Andie MacDowell, that Bill Murray's character is stuck in that loop for about 500 years.
Yes.
And I love that because, of course, he learns to play the piano. He learns French. He he does so much shit in Groundhog Day. That movie is fantastic. So I really like the Groundhog Day trope, and it did make me wonder how long she might be stuck in this loop, similar to Bill Murray's character. We never do find out, but
the theory is a couple weeks.
A couple of weeks. Okay, yeah, that's doable. I get that. Makes sense, especially because she's still in school and the the sorority stuff is interesting, and I actually like how she. There's one scene where she comes back after waking up, and when she starts to kind of push back on Danielle, because of course Danielle is coming off as just, like you said, the very typical sorority sister. I didn't know too many sorority sisters when I was in college, or my friends were in college. I guess I don't know if that's a good thing.
Specifically went to a college that did not have Greek life.
Oh, there you go. All right. I spent some time in a couple fraternities, more parties. I didn't even think about joining a fraternity. I would have probably died from alcohol poisoning.
Definitely.
During hazing.
Yeah.
But overall, very enjoyable movie. I would watch the second one. The only reason I haven't yet is because it's not available on any streaming service. But this one I think was on Netflix.
HBO.
This was on HBO. Great. But yeah, a good time all around. Cast was good. Of course, there's the cliche characters and the cliche moments and whatnot. For being a PG-13 horror comedy, it certainly had some good laughs, and I hope that the sequel is as enjoyable.
I've never seen it, but I really want to, and I hope so too.
Well, we'll have to watch it together sometime then.
I think so, and I'm glad you had a good time with it. I'm glad it was entertaining enough for you, and I think this was a really good pairing this week as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think one of the reasons why this movie is good and also successful is that Christopher Landon was the director. He wrote the Paranormal Activity sequels Hard Eyes.
Oh, nice.
And Freaky.
Ah, sweet.
And he also directed not only this movie and its sequel, but also he directed Freaky.
Oh, badass.
Which we'll talk about in the future. And he also directed Drop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Drop was okay.
It was okay, but Christopher Landon has a pretty solid horror resume.
Yeah, no, he definitely does.
And Scott Lobdell is the guy who wrote the screenplay, which is really fascinating because he's actually known for writing comic books. And he said he wanted to play with the tropes of the slasher genre because every slasher film opens up with the mean girl getting killed and the good girl living till the end.
Aha.
He said, how can I make the mean girl and the good girl the same person?
Oh, cool.
And that's how he came up with this movie. So hats off to him. It was a great screenplay, and there's some pretty cool and fun behind-the-scenes trivia for Happy Death Day, including the costume of the killer, having that weird baby face on it. It was designed by Tony Gardner, who also designed the ghost face mask for the Scream franchise.
That's badass.
Yeah, and apparently the script was written in 2007.
Oh, damn.
It was going to star... I can't say this with a straight face. It was going to star Megan Fox.
Oh, boy.
And be produced by Michael Bay.
Whoa.
Which is why the name of the college in the film is Bayfield University.
Wow.
So ridiculous.
All right. Nothing against Megan Fox, honestly. I've worked with her on New Girl. She is awesome.
She's not a great actress, though.
She's not a great actress, no. But Jennifer's Body is a fun movie.
You'd say that.
I would.
Unfortunately, I only have a couple pieces of trivia for this film, but the other ones are, according to Christopher Landon, the director, Tree's punchline when she's talking to that guy, Tim, who's saying like, oh, come on, I thought we had a good time. And she's like, well, you had a good time. She goes, who takes their first date to Subway? It's not like you have a foot long. That was completely improvised by Jessica Roth.
Nice. Good job.
And there's also a scene where Tree is naked.
Yeah, there is.
She walks through the campus quad. I don't think I've ever told you this story, but there was a tradition. Shit. There was a tradition at my college where when you turned in your senior thesis and you were basically done with school at that point, when you turned into your senior thesis, you would all jump in the fountain that was on the quad. It was a big fountain, and that was just the tradition. And I was dared instead to ride my motorcycle through campus naked.
Whoa! And you jumped in the fountain.
No, I, of course,
all right,
did the dare.
Nice. Did you get in trouble for that?
I very briefly got chased by a security guard in a golf cart, but my motorcycle was faster.
Ha! Kind of like that moment in Girls Next Door where the security guard's chasing him down.
Exactly. I empathize with Tree and Jessica Roth walking through the quad, buck naked, and so it had to be.
Did she actually do it nude?
She absolutely did. It had to be done very quickly because it was being filmed on an active college campus.
Wow.
And so they were at risk of a bunch of people and students witnessing the scene and them filming her taking photos. And so the crews took extreme precautions. I guess all the women in the crew were super helpful. They'd huddle around her and they'd sing a hype song for her and she'd jump up and down and get really hyped up. And they took really big precautions to clear away any potential onlookers. And in the end, they managed that scene and they filmed it in just 2 takes.
Well, that's cool. I guess it's always for scenes like that, and even in like TV shows. I mean, I've been on TV shows for HBO and stuff like that. I've even been on TV shows for Playboy. A lot of times when the woman is being shot from the back, she'll have pasties or something, you know, on her nipples, or she'll be wearing what they call a merkin stash.
Yes. I've actually been on sets of different movies, and I think because being a woman who, and you can back me up on this, looks somewhat physically intimidating.
Yeah.
I was always selected as the guard for any nude scenes for women.
Oh, sure. No, that makes sense.
And so
Absolutely.
I was always at either standing at the door frame or at the front of the house or what have you. Whenever there was a nude scene needing to be shot, I was often utilized as the guard. So I've been through a lot of nude scenes on set. Hey, you know what? I have a special skill, and
yes, you do.
I'm proud of it. It's fine.
I was doing this really small independent movie years ago down in Carlsbad. The morning of the scene that we were about to shoot with this actress, the director and the producer all of a sudden decided that she should be naked for this scene.
Of course they did.
And yeah, of course they did. And I remember, and I was the brought on AD. They fired their other first, so I came down there, you know, with the experience that I had, and for the longest time before we shot that, I was telling the actress, I don't remember her name, it was so long ago, but I was like, you know, if you haven't signed anything, you don't have to do this scene nude. You don't have to even take your shirt off and be in your bra if you don't want to. Mm-hmm. And she's like, John, you know, I think it works for the character. I'm like, that's great. I just want you to sign something that says you're doing this, not just for you, but for me too, because I don't want to come off or have any rumors started about, first AD was totally like, yeah, get her tits, you know, being this misogynistic, like, let's see her naked. That was nothing. It was just so strange to me. And I remember pulling the director aside and being like, why is she all of a sudden naked? Mm-hmm. And his whole breakdown of why she should be naked was dumb, because he's like, well, she's being thrown into the wilderness, so I think she should just be naked, like just take her clothes off. And this was a scene that she was doing with Danny fucking Trejo. So she's like standing there,
I'm sure
taking
Danny
her clothes
was
off.
like, this is stupid.
Danny Trejo did say it was stupid, but then he's like, you've got a great body. I was in the room with the costume designer, the makeup artist, there was one camera operator, then there was the focus puller, the director, and of course the producer had to stand there.
Of course.
And Trejo and this other actor were standing there. So it was super strange. And I remember every time we cut, I would help the costume designer like wrap her up in like 2 different robes, because close set and everything. But it just, and it's still to this day, I'm like, why did she have to be naked for that shit?
She probably
didn't. No, she didn't. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that movie still hasn't even come out. I don't think the movie's ever gonna come out.
Gross.
So yeah, it was dumb. Mm-hmm. And if you are the type of director that feels it's gonna better the movie.
No, this is why representation matters. Getting more women as positions of power on set so they can also be a voice of reason. But also, intimacy coordinators. So
the
important.
Intimacy coordinator thing
so
is
important.
there. Yeah.
Anyway.
My friend Angie I was going to talk about my friend Angie real quick. She auditions for a lot of stuff, and she had, I think through like one of those casting websites or something, got sent a script by a guy. And she called me one day and was like, "Hey, can I send you this script?" So she sent it to me. She goes, "I want you to read this page in particular."
Oh, God.
And it was a sex scene that this guy had written. And the guy had already cast himself as the writer, director, and star of the movie.
Oh, God, yeah.
And the way that he wrote this sex scene was like, on top of beautiful woman, can see her down to her crotch. And Angie's like, does this make sense? I'm like, no, it doesn't make any fucking sense. This guy wants to shoot a movie with a hot actress and have a sex scene with her.
Yeah.
And it's not going to do anything for the movie or whomever is going to be cast in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, you know what? That's all I needed to hear. And she passed on the movie because of it.
Good.
So, yeah.
Gross.
It honestly, it infuriated me.
Yeah.
It really did. I was like, motherfucker, you're writing this shit and you're going to stand there on set and be like, all right, here we go. And like, just be the writer, director, star of this movie so you can hire a hot actress to, it was ridiculous. So anyway, yes, representation matters, and ladies, speak up for yourself. Don't just be like, you know what, it'll help the movie. No, speak up for yourself if you're uncomfortable about it, or find a new gig. They'll find somebody else.
And get some backup.
It's the unfortunate
get
reality
some support.
that they will.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, get some backup. Bring your agent on set. Bring your boyfriend. Bring, somebody that actually has some respect for you that's going to be like, you know what, man?
Get the actor to help back you up and say how this
there's
scene
that too.
doesn't make
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
right? Anybody. So, yeah. Keep
It's
speaking up,
it's
ladies. And
big
men.
time, big time.
Men, too. Please, if you see anything like this, always speak up and support women on set.
always.
That's so crucial for men to also speak up.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, good. I'm glad we got that out of the way.
we did get that out of the way, thankfully. Jessica Roth did not face any of that. Instead, she had a great time and was very proud of her work. And she even said, this was early in my career. I thought, when would I ever get an opportunity to do this again? This will feel very liberating and exciting. And she did it, and she had a great time. More
Hell
power
yeah.
to her.
And the movie is great because of it.
The movie is great in spite of it, because the rest of the movie is amazing and hilarious and entertaining and not as gruesome as your movie, that's for sure. But
Definitely not.
it was made on a $4.8 million budget.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it did really, really well.
I'll bet. I was going to say, what did it make? Like 85 million?
In the U.S., it made $55 million.
Oh, all right.
And on a $4.8 million budget, worldwide, it made $125 million.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so Happy Death Day to You came out a couple years later. I have not seen it yet. I've heard mixed reviews, and part of me doesn't want to ruin the original. I just want to stick with it instead. So we'll see. Maybe one day I'll watch it.
Maybe one day.
So that is Happy Death Day. You can watch it on HBO. And John, would you watch Ready or Not with your grandma?
Oh, hell yeah. My grandmother would have loved Ready or Not.
It's a brutal movie. There's no sex, but there's a lot of violence.
Mm-hmm.
I think anybody 15 or 16 and above, it's really gross. In
15 and above, I would say.
Yeah, it's there's a whole lot of violence in that movie.
Whole lot of violence. And V, would you watch Happy Death Day with your grandmother?
With my dad's mom, probably.
Nice.
It's a lot tamer than your film.
Oh, yeah, big time.
My dad doesn't like slasher movies or very gruesome let's kill women movies, but I think he still would have a good time with Happy Death Day versus, I think he'd like Ready or Not just because she's such a badass in that movie.
Hells yeah.
But yeah, Happy Death Day, probably 15 and above with that movie too.
Yeah, that's solid.
Especially because I think people who either have become adults or have some college experience will relate to that movie better.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid point.
But I think it's a great double feature.
That it is.
Happy Death Day and then Ready or Not. It's a wonderful way to spend an evening.
It most certainly is and was.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad I was able to introduce another movie to you. And we are so happy to be back and recording and releasing episodes again. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And next week, instead of a series of movies taking over our podcast, an actor will be taking over instead.
Yeah.
We have decided to do underrated Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Hells yes.
John, do you want to tell everybody what you picked?
Oh, I would love to. I picked one of my favorite movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, actually. I haven't done a whole lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies other than Jingle All the Way.
True Lies, which is
that's
one
right.
of the
So
greatest
this'll be
movies ever made.
Number 3, then, my third. This movie stars, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Rappaport, Tony Goldwyn, Michael Rooker, Wendy Crewson, and Terry Crews in his first speaking role. This is directed by Roger Spottiswoode. This is a film called The Sixth Day. And I love this movie. I've loved it since I saw it for the first time in 2000. I own the double disc DVD. It is not streaming anywhere, unfortunately, for free, but you can rent it on Amazon or Apple for $3.99. It's a great movie about human cloning, and I love it, and I can't wait to discuss it. NV, what did you pick for your Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I picked an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from 1996. I've been watching it for almost that long. My dad introduced me to this movie. I think it's really underrated. It stars Vanessa Williams, who I love. She's awesome. She's always been so cool. And it also stars a bunch of James, because James Caan, James Coburn, and James Cromwell are all in this movie. Unfortunately, this movie is not streaming anywhere, but you can rent it on most streaming services. Highly recommend you follow along. I love this movie. Can't wait to talk about it.
Same. I'm a big fan of Eraser.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. All right, so tune in next week for that. And until that time, thank you all so much for joining us, and please tell all of your friends and family to listen along as well. Recommend us to coworkers, and please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. In the meantime, here we close out with film is a form of art, and in art, every opinion is valid, except if you think
you have to play board games with your in-laws. I think that's my best one yet.
I think it is too. Oh my God. Oh man, that's awesome. I'm actually seeing your in-laws in like a week and a half.
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I know.
Don't worry, I won't mention this.
No, I don't think Michelle or my father-in-law Doug would ever listen to this podcast.
You cuss too much. She's told me
That's
to my face that you cuss too much.
Yeah, well, Michelle will get over it.
All right, everyone. Until next week, bye-bye.
Cheers, everybody.